Oh, hello. Welcome back to Desert Ox Farms. I am Desert Ox. We will be finishing up the contract and talk a little FS25 tonight. Got a couple of things canned, and we'll get those showed off. We'll wait till we got a few more people in here before we start showing some stuff off, but meantime, we'll just try to get this baling contract knocked out. It's echoing. Let's see. Let me check that. See if that fixed it. How's that sound now? We still got an echo? Okay. Yeah, I've got some kind of static going on my end here. I don't know what's causing that. It fixed it? Okay. Alright, good deal. Good deal. I was getting that desktop audio looping back. He's almost got that down to the corner. Can we get started over here? Yeah, we can get started. You hear the static too? Yeah, I don't know what's causing that. May have a loose connection. Ooh. Hopefully it clears up. For some reason, the vertical's not going out. Oh well. Can't fix everything. You get some things fixed and all of a sudden other things break. That's OBS for you. Alright, we got our little we gotta get down here and get this fella fixed. He's all messed up. So we ended last stream. We didn't have nearly this much money. That might be some of the problem there. Peeking out. Is that a little bit better? The mic volume. That could have been what it was. Could have just been peaking the mic too much. Yeah, I am too. Super excited. Okay, man. yourself a break. We'll take it from here. But yeah, when we ended the stream last time, we didn't have nearly this much money. I've been working some contracts, trying to build up some money, because I believe we can get us a planter to do poplar like I had planned to begin with, because it is in season. I think the last time when I tried to do it, it was out of season, and that was the problem. I didn't think about that before I tried to plant it. But I believe that problem is going to be fixed. And we're going to use something a little bigger than that single row planter. So we'll get this baling contract and we'll get some poplar put in. Also been trying to make up some more money because I want to put in a production. There's a like a pellet factory for wood chips. We have those that poplar. Once it gets going, we start baling it up. We'll be able to deliver that stuff over to the that wood chip factory. I'll show that off a little bit later too. Ended up giving the AI worker a heart attack. So the multiplayer server, I guess we're going to go with Mason County, but I need a little feedback on the mods. So as far as DLCs, we can do all the DLCs. I would prefer to leave pumps and hoses off. It's just kind of a pain on the server. But other than that, I mean, we can do all the DLCs if you want to do all the DLCs. Just gonna miss it. Just for that one little speck. There we go. Yeah. I still don't see the vertical popping up. The shorts feed. I don't know what's going on with that. The Kubota DLC? Yeah, we can definitely do the Kubota DLC. Typically, I run all the DLCs except for pumps and hoses on the server. In game, I run all of them. Just single player. I think we got most of those little green spots. They're not really going to matter. There's too much of the green grass, it'll turn your bale back into just regular grass instead of hay. But I think we'll be all right. Now we can get all this rowed up so we can bale it. Finish up this contract, then we can start on our stuff. We get into next month, I have a grass field. I need to roll it, get the yield up. Plus I want to take out some of the hedges. I'm going to combine those grass fields into just one big field. Yeah, that'll work. Do you have any DLCs other than the Kubota DLC? So, were you on at the end of last week's stream? If you were on at the end of last week's stream, you would have got to actually speak with Cavalier Roy. He had dropped in onto the chat and was hanging out. And Cavalier Roy, he's the man that actually made this map. Okay, we can do premium in Kubota. That's fine. There's some good equipment in that premium edition. It's a nice planter. The Volvos from the Mod Hub. The older style equipment. There's a bunch of really nice old equipment in the game. You don't see a whole lot of it, but there is some. Oh, got a little too close in there, didn't I? Oh, okay, the Platinum DLC. Yeah. Gotcha. Silver Run is a great map. Vehicle here. So you were saying you have the Platinum Edition, not the Premium? I think the Platinum is probably the best DLC that they had. Okay. I was thinking that along with doing the poplars that might get a little land on here to do a little bit of logging. Mix that in some of the off-season times instead of doing so many contracts. There's a lot of money you can make with the logging on the game. I can't remember what it's called. It's this little piece of equipment. As far as logging goes. This thing right here. The high lift. Man, as far as loading trailers, if you want to do it manually, this thing's great. You get a tractor with a blade on it so you can just line your logs up nice and even. And then just use this to load your trailers. You don't have to sit there and fight it so much with those, like you do with those little grapples. You can use a loader, but you're doing like 1 or 2 logs at a time. That's a bit slow. So I kind of prefer to use that high lift. So I've got some videos that I've got pulled up for FS25, and I was thinking about going through those tonight and kind of talking about some of the stuff that's going to be in 25 with everybody tonight. I think that'll be a lot of fun. The collectible that I keep talking about that you can see in the screenshots, I actually found the video where you can actually see it. I couldn't remember where it was at, but I did find it this week. Have to finagle the wood with the small grapple? Yeah, you do. That high lift, it just solves all your problems. Unless you use auto load. Which I'm not gonna lie, when it comes to logging, I'm an auto loading fool. But yeah, we'll get into those videos. Just letting a couple more people trickle in, and then we'll start looking at some of that stuff. I'll point out the collectible. I don't know if you've seen those yet. If you've ever seen the movie It, the little boy that floats his little paper boat down the stream, that's what it looks like. One of those little paper boats. Yeah, I do it both ways. Sometimes I'll do it manual, and sometimes I'll do the auto load. Most of the time I do the auto load, just kind of how the mood strikes me. But you know, it's just one of those things. It's like everything else in Farm Sim. You know, you might do the stuff the easy way most of the time, and then you just want a little more of a challenge. Just like with pallets, you know, a lot of times you just auto load pallets. And sometimes it's just fun to get a forklift or a oh jeez, I went blank. You know, some other kind of loader. Like a telehandler or something. You know, and just load it up yourself. I've had, I don't know, hundreds of pallets I've loaded myself. I think it's probably going to be a slow night. Yeah, the little skidder. Yeah, or the skid steer. Let's go ahead and do this. Get this pulled up. Out of that. Kick it over here. This right here. Oh, we might be able to leave the volume on. This is one of the new construction sites. We'll actually have to deliver material. You know, it's just kind of like the roller coaster in the Platinum Edition. We'll have to restore this building or this silo to be able to use it again. And right around this corner, that's where you'll drop your grain in once you have it repaired. But right around this corner, right there in the window, right there. That's what the collectibles will look like on Riverbend. If you haven't seen those yet, this will give us a reason to do have, you know, our sawmills and stuff. You have to deliver your lumber and all over here. You know, everything repaired and fixed back up. The cool thing is it actually has an interior. If somebody has a scarecrow asset, maybe we'll get some scarecrows. There's a lot of little knick-knack kind of stuff laying around. Those silos off in the distance that you just saw right there, that train track runs down through there, and that's where you load that barge. Now I know it, as far as the quality of what you're seeing, I promise you, it looks way better. Like this video that you're seeing right now is pretty compressed. Um, I think you're probably getting it in. It's streaming at probably 1080, but it's only at about a 480 quality. Um, when it's recorded, it was recorded somewhere around, well, it was above 1440. Um, and I've got it running at 1440, but through the YouTube algorithm or the compression, it really dumbs it down. If you see it at 1440 or better, uh, those people that talk about how like FS25 doesn't look as good or it's just a reskin, uh, yeah, they're not seeing it the way they're the way the game's going to look once it actually comes out. They're seeing it compressed through YouTube. It's just showing off a couple of the different buildings. I think uh, this might be the rope factory, maybe, or might be the sawmill. See the channel that goes through up underneath. This may be the sawmill. That's why I think you're going to be able to float logs. When you look at the PDA, you can see where the sawmill's at, and on where it's at next to the river. If you draw a line straight across the the land to the where the to the other side to the river, there's like a inlet there. Plus, in one of these videos, you can actually see a tunnel that goes back up underneath the road, and where that tunnel goes underneath the road, it really looks like you'd be floating logs down through there. Because you can see logs floating at the sawmill. They've actually announced the last crop too, which will be green beans. Yeah, in that blog post, they mentioned that green beans go good with bacon. Now, if that is anything like the blog post for twisters, then it's a little misleading, because in the blog post for twisters, they talked about how the twisters would do damage to buildings and stuff, but that's not the case. Johnson's debunked that. They said, it'll damage your bales and your crops if they're not covered, but as far as we just jumped to a different one, we did. All right. This farm sim has boats. Um, but yeah, they debunked that, and they come back out and they said that it's not going to damage your building. So as far as the bacon goes, I don't know. Maybe we'll get some meat production. I kind of doubt it. We're getting an Asian map. Pork is a big product for Asians, so maybe we'll have some green beans and pork. Who knows? I would love it if we could actually have some kind of meat production. It doesn't have to be anything really elaborate. There's some mods that you can get where you can do pork chops and ribs and all that kind of stuff. But hey, Cavalier Roy. But um, as far as it actually being in there, it's kind of iffy. I'm not sure if they're going to do it or not. Yeah, we're finally getting a really good looking U.S. map. I agree. The Riverbend Springs is looking really nice. There's a lot of nice details in here. I really like how you got the ripples on the water there too. And this is something that's going to be nice. These assets that are hidden in the Platinum Edition with the flowing water, modders are going to be able to get their hands on those now. So that's going to be great. Yeah, have some really nice looking maps. Have you, Cavalier Roy, have you actually seen the blog post for green beans? Thanks, Leighton. I appreciate that, man. Oh, you're talking to Cavalier Roy. You didn't put your ad on there. I thought you was talking to me. Uh, I believe when it comes up the river here, you can see the one of the ponderosa pines. I actually got pretty excited about that when I saw it, because that's another asset that's been locked behind the Platinum Edition. It's just a tree, but if you like logging, then you know, like the ponderosa pine and the lodgepole pine, those two are much more valuable trees. I think that's loud. Those are much more valuable trees, and they don't get stuck in the ground so much, so it makes logging a lot nicer to do. You got that new cafe here on the right, as it's the new shop. You can see the Axel's Tractor Center. This is just one small part of it. As he circles around, this is like the downtown area. You got that train station across there with those silos, but then you'll have the main shop here. This will be the dealer, your vehicle dealer. He drives a little slow. This is all FarmCom footage. You can find a lot of this stuff online if you really want to dig into it and pick it apart. That gas station right across the road, I think it's going to be a construction site. So we got a new gas station, uh, gasket instead of Grayson's. I mean, how many times have you seen Grayson's even have a bank, which is pretty cool? I don't know that I've seen a bank anywhere. So it's just a little more detail that you'll have. It'd be cool if you can actually, deposit funds and stuff in there. This building right here, this old abandoned gas station, I think this will be one of the construction sites. It's just my own personal theory, but uh, if you look, you can see how it's got the broken windows and stuff. It has a marker on the PDA, but there's they don't have the markers out here where you can see them, so there's no way to really confirm it. But we'll find out when the game comes out. We'll find out if I was right or not. I'm hoping it is. I'm hoping there's more than one construction site. We had the roller coaster, but I'm hoping there's more places that we can repair. I really enjoyed that feature. Were there ATMs in some of the past games? That's the animal dealer. I like that they've got animated animals too. You don't really see them move that much because they're driving by, but they are actually moving around. Plus, they're pinned up. So this is something I think is really cool. There's a slurry pit around back here. So if I'm right, we're going to be able to purchase slurry, and we'll be able to purchase manure right here at the animal dealer. That's big. That's a big deal. I mean, you can't buy manure or slurry, so you have to have animals to produce the stuff. Them putting this in there, that's going to be great. I don't get to use manure or slurry nearly as much as I like to, just for that very reason. So being able to purchase it you know, that'll be great because I kind of like using it to fertilize with and stuff. And that's the whole downtown area. It circles right back around to the water tower. You can see there's a bunch of silos. There's going to be a lot of silo assets. Look really nice. Before we burn through all these, we'll get it back there. And we'll get back to this for right now. Get some more of this knocked out. But yeah, it's looking really nice. It's looking really nice. I haven't really combed over many of the fact sheets other than when I saw the white, that AGCO white. That's going to be probably a pretty popular base game tractor or like a starting farm tractor. It's a relatively cheap tractor, but you can get it up to like 200 something horsepower. I think it's like 50 something thousand. So that's going to be probably a pretty big deal, I would think. Could be wrong, but I think it will be. It's funny that you popped in, Cavalier Roy, because I was just talking about how, you know, if anybody was here at the end of the last stream that, you know, you had popped in, they really missed, you know, a big surprise there, because it was a big surprise for me. I don't expect to see celebrities pop in. I should probably just cut this guy loose in the center of the field now. I got most of this up. Well, if you're wanting to do your own maps, I would actually go ahead and, I mean, the Giants Engine 10, I'm sure it's going to have some changes to it, but it'll still be very familiar to you if you already know how to use 9. So I would jump on 9 and start learning how to use it. Whatever skills that you pick up while you're using Giants Engine 9 will definitely help you out. I would certainly think they would help you out if you're wanting to do maps and stuff. I mean, even if you want to do your own mods, just to do your own mods, you need to know how to use the Giants engine. I think I'm going to set this rascal free. I'm going to set him up on a course. Let him do this, and then I can go ahead and start doing some baling. Two's fine. Sharp. And we want you to start on the center. And that'll work. Maps and vehicles. Oh, I about got myself ran over. Let's see, I don't think I brought the baler up here. I didn't. this needs to go back to the shop. Take it back and we'll pick up another tractor and come back with the baler. My feeds are showing all kinds of crazy. They're showing, they're all in different, they're all at different points as far as what I'm doing. Like I'm driving down the road in one, but another one's still going through the videos. These streams are just, they're not syncing up. I still don't think that the shorts went up. For some reason, that one just never went live. Yeah, some things you'll have to brand as lizard. But you can do really cool things with them too. Just like some of the base game stuff. Get up here where I got a little more room and I'll show you something. So that the trees aren't blocking the view. Like this right here. Let's see, go to productions. I think it's down here towards the end. That's it. Come on, camera. It's like, even though it's a, base game, you can do cool stuff with it. Just kind of brand it for yourself. So, I mean, that's a real easy thing to do in Giant Setter. You just add an object, slap a picture on it. There's nothing to it. But you can do it to vehicles and stuff like that. So you can do, some custom stuff. Kind of makes it fun. And you can probably do something like that on a building in, I don't know, 5 minutes or less. It's not complicated. I think we'll break some tools out on this thing and get it cleaned up. It's looking a little rough. That mobile mechanic is such a great mod. Let's go break out the New Holland. Just like that pressure washer that I'm using. It's a mobile pressure washer, but I changed it so it washes faster. That was washed too slow. There's little things that you can do that just, I don't know, just make things a little more enjoyable for yourself. I don't think it's going to matter what kind of bells we make. We just make some square bells. So I think Tokyo Game Show is going to be at the end of this week. And we'll actually get some news on the Asian map. if you do a pre-built for $1,500 and you don't have to have like brand new everything. Get you some used parts like your graphics card. You can get some pretty nice cards for pretty good prices, and you can build a pretty nice PC for $1,500. Cavalier Roy can probably tell you best as far as what works best for doing like maps and stuff. Whether AMD or Intel works better. I personally, I couldn't tell you. Look at him go. Let's see, let's make these bales nice and fat. Is 240 the biggest bale? Yeah. Oh. You didn't see nothing. Nothing happened. I won't steal Clutch or DJ's lines, best driver in Farm Sim. I'll just let it be insinuated. Yeah, I'd say as far as the footage that they've shown off so far, that stuff is it's looking really nice. I'm really excited for 25. I find it hard to really talk about anything. It's just from what I've seen of 25 so far. Oh, thank you, Waffle, for the subscription. It's hard to continue finding entertainment in 22 with as much as stuff as you've seen on 25 so far. So a lot of that stuff just looks so much nicer. I think once the modders get their hands on 25, it's going to go nuts. I mean, we've got some really cool stuff in 22. I know they had some really cool stuff in 19. I think 25 is going to set a whole new standard for mods. I think that if you're on console, I think you're going to get 4X maps. I love using 4X maps. Occasionally I like to use a standard size map. You kind of go back and forth. Just it's like with anybody, depending on what map you're playing, it's kind of, if you vibe with it, it doesn't matter if it's a standard size or 4X or whatever. You just want to play that map because it's fun. But I still occasionally you like having to drive a distance to get somewhere where it feels like you're in more of a realistic place. The standard size maps, they don't always feel that way. You're actually blind. What bush? I don't know what you're talking about, Leighton. But yeah, if you're vibing with a map, I mean, it could be a 16X map. You really wouldn't care how far you had to drive or anything else. There's a feel to a map, and it's different for everybody. if you get on one that you really like, it's hard to come off of it. You'll put a ton of hours in that thing, and when you finally do get tired of playing on that map, you'll just have a lot of good memories of it. All the different things that you did. And it always just kind of gnaws at you. You kind of want to go back to it. Sometimes you just want to start a whole nother playthrough for just that map. Just because they're just that good. I've been really liking this map. There's just, I don't know, there's so much variety. You can play it just like it's a UK map, or you can swap it out basically and play it like it's a US map. You get rid of all these hedges if you don't want to use them. But there's just so many different places. There's so many different farms. I mean, you don't have to start off at that main farm. I mean, I can't remember how many farms are on this. It's like 8 farms, I think. It's got them all over the place, and each one's got a different layout. The way that you get into the fields, a lot of times you would think that you'd be able to come in off of a main road, but you don't come off the main road. The Westbridge Hills map, that's your all-time. I'd say the map that I probably put the most time into is probably Elm Creek. I know it's not a mod map, but I don't know. Especially once Giants went back and made the changes to it, where you could actually delete some of the buildings on some of the NPC farms. Once they did that, it made Elm Creek a lot better. But Elm Creek really vibed well with me. I've never gone through and tried to buy every single field on Elm Creek, or any map for that matter. But I certainly own the majority of it. I probably had 20 different tractors. Oh, that's not going to work. Yeah, it's one of those maps that, because it was such an early game, or not early game, but early map. It was in 19, and they brought it back in 22. It's had a lot of playtime by a lot of people. It's kind of long in the tooth for a lot of people. They don't really want to keep playing it. But I mean, even me, as many hours as I've had put in on that, I still, right now, I don't have the desire to go back to it. But as far as the nostalgia for it, to me, it's one of the best maps. I've actually put a little time on Goldcrest Valley on here on 22. I think the remake they did for it was pretty nice. As a matter of fact, I want to say before I started this playthrough, I was on Goldcrest Valley. That was like the second time I had played it. I was going back to it. I was like, you know what, let's give it another go. Kind of enjoyed that one. But as far as 25 goes, as far as repeat maps, it's going to be Sri Lanka. So if you have the premium edition, you can play Sri Lanka now. It's a good map. I think it's as far as them introducing those vegetable crops, that it makes for a good map for that. The fields aren't overly too large, or over. what am I trying to say here? They're big enough you can make plenty of money, and you can keep the factories running. You know, if the fields are too small, you just can't get enough yield. But at the same time, if you're doing root crops, I mean, root crops can be a nightmare, especially doing carrots and red beets and that sort of thing, because the equipment, you know, it's like a single row. And if you're going to use the wolf, you got to have somebody else. You got to do that with multiplayer. The in-game cars. Oh, I don't know if y'all have seen this or if you know about this. The AI traffic. So the AI traffic is well improved over what it is now. So instead of them just stopping behind you and honking the horn, like if you just stop in the road, they'll actually go around you. They won't just sit there behind you. They'll pass you. I think that's stinking awesome. It's nothing more aggravating than having that AI traffic just sit there and wait on you and then end up causing a big old traffic jam. So that's one of those little features that they're not really talking a whole lot about, but that's actually going to be a thing. I may have that in one of those videos. Yeah, I think we could have told the other guy he could stop. He said to keep going. We'll catch him on the way back. The interaction menu? You mean like this menu here? If it'll quit saving. You mean like this menu? Oh, you're talking about, yeah, interacting with NPCs. Yeah. You know, that's a good question. I'm not 100% sure. Let's see. Let me pull this up real quick. Where's it at? Come on, where'd you go? Oh, that's not it. Just a second, I got it right here. Just say I got it right here. I downloaded it on purpose so that I could have it right here. I thought I put it right here. No, that's not it. Where the heck did I put it? I thought I had put it somewhere nice and easy for me to find. I don't know if you're anything like me, but you put something on your computer and you're like, this will be the perfect place for me to put this because I'll be able to find it no matter what. And then you can't find it. guess I'm just gonna have to give up on this because for some reason I have put it in some location and don't know where the heck I put it. I don't know how that happened. Dang it. Alright, I'm sorry about that. But yeah, as far as the NPCs, I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work. Kind of thinking that that's going to be how you get your contracts. You know, they'll instead of just going into a menu to find it, you'll actually go up and you'll talk to the NPC and get your contract, or maybe maybe in the blog post where they talk about how damage it. Oh, geez, got tongue twisted. Whenever they talk about the damage to buildings, maybe those NPCs, you'll be able to talk to them, and it's the NPCs' buildings that get damaged, not your stuff. So, say they might need some lumber delivered to them so that you can fix their barn or whatever. All right, that's enough, pal. You just dragging everything around the field, trying to tear up my equipment. Yeah, apparently it happens to me quite often. I feel like I need to learn how to speak all over again. Just park this over here. Oh wait. We can take and copy your course. Thank you. We'll come up in here and we'll paste your course. What the heck? Didn't copy it. Let's see if that got it. See if he'll go pick up these bales for us. Are you gonna be on the right course? Nope. That's fine. Let's get rid of his course. And now, wait, no. Clear that course. Let's go get in the other tractor. Copy your course. Don't think it's copying. Maybe that's the problem. There we go. That got it. We got it. Now he should be straight. Yeah. Yeah, he'll do like he's supposed to now. We can take the other tractor and start picking bales up. allows them to get stuff for you. I got my trailer over here already. I'm gonna drop this right here. I'm gonna hook up this trailer and start getting some bales and start getting this stuff delivered, because it's not close. Just shoot around the outside edge of this field. Yeah, auto load is great. Well, as far as like copying courses, the reason it wouldn't work just in was that the other tractor had a course on it already, so I had to clear that course out. Once I cleared that course out, then it would let me paste it onto the other tractor. So the New Holland is really, it's just following the Valtra's path now. Room for one more. Now we got to take this way up to the top of the map. Let's see, I got to check the route, how to get there. I believe we got to go back up past the shop, come up through here. And then it's going to be right up here. Yep. That's a little bridge we got to cross right there. I think I know how to get there. We'll find out. I'll probably get lost on the way. We're leaving, what, the middle of this map. So we're basically going to drive a map and a half to get there. Man, my wife is cooking something downstairs. It smells good. Man, that smells good. I just ate a little bit ago too. I shouldn't be hungry, but man, that smells good. So I think this map kind of reminds me of like a 4K UMRV. UMR, or not 4K, but 4X. UMRV was a 4X, but it was an American style map. It was a good map too. See, if we'd have turned to the right back there, that'd have took us to Ebony Island, and we don't need to go to Ebony Island. See all these trees? I was thinking about buying some of this land here. They could log that out and then expand the grass fields there by the farm. Help increase the amount of revenue. We're doing pretty good, but most of that's going to go to a planter. Well, actually, I could just lease that planter. It would be better to just lease it, because once we plant the poplar, we're not going to have to hang on to it because that poplar will regrow. So it'd be cheaper just to lease it and use it for the season. So we'll do that. That'll save some money, free up some for being able to build the pellet factory. Whoa, crazy deer running into the street. I believe we got to go straight right here. I think we could turn, but I think it's better if we go straight. We'll just follow the road around. Well, it has to be my favorite food. Oh man. So many. I'm pretty simple when it comes to food. I like things like meatloaf, fried chicken, green beans, mashed potatoes. You know, just ordinary kinds of food, I guess. If it's not processed, I'm down. I'm not a big fan of processed foods. I believe we head up right here. Yeah, this is where we are now. We've made it this far. So we came from down here where all these lines are at, and we've driven all the way over here. We've basically crossed the map so far, and we've still got a map to go. I'd have to say my favorite food is probably whatever's in front of me. I took my wife out for her birthday last night, and we went to an Asian restaurant, and I had steak and chicken, the hibachi steak and chicken. It was pretty good. Get myself some brownie points here. It wasn't as good as her food. Of course, I'm pretty sure anybody that eats her cooking would say the same thing. Yeah, whatever's in front of you, buddy. If it's fried chicken or if it's dumplings, oh man. There's this place. It's it's about 60 miles. Well, it's not quite 60 miles. Actually, yeah, it probably is 60 miles from here. I think of it as local because I go through there all the time. They make dumplings. It's a little old lady started the business and grew it into a pretty decent sized factory, and I love those dumplings. If we ever cook dumplings, we make sure we pick up a pack of those. So I think we gotta go around to the back side here and head up the hill. So this farm production, we have one on our farm too, and I did purchase it. So that's one of the things I have to, I should sell it right there. Yep. That's something I have to show you. That's kind of a new addition for us on our farm because I did do enough contracts to purchase that, which it wasn't expensive. It's only like $30,000. But anyhow, back to the dumplings. So my wife will take those same dumplings and she does, I don't know, she does some kind of magic with those things. That would definitely be a favorite food. I see food and I eat it. I know that's right. So yeah, let me show you what we did at the farm real quick. We'll drive back to the farm and I'll show you what we did. You know, I had built the silage silo and was going to use that for silage. It was pretty cheap addition. I was having some issues, you know, delivering the grass clippings in there. I figured out what it was. It was all my fault. I hadn't leveled the ground, so the trigger wasn't quite where it needed to be. Earlier this week, I had fixed all that and had it working just fine, but it was like, you know, let's go check out this farm production. It's part of the farm, see what it'll do. And we can do silage through that farm production. So I went ahead and moved the grass clippings that were in the silage silo that I had built, and then sold it back off. So we just cleared that corner back out on the yard. Well, heck, I don't have to drive all the way over there to show you the farm production. We got it right here. So, the Ebony Island farm production. We can make liquid fertilizer, solid fertilizer, herbicide, seeds, lime. When it snows, we can make water, so we can use that to give to the cows and stuff. Slurry, yeah, take water manure. We can make the mineral or the silage additive. You can make mineral feed, but it also has the silage, you know, for hay, grass, and chaff, or chafe, however you want to say it. I don't have any of these activated, do I? So let's activate it. I may see if I can pull some of that grass out of there to give to the sheep. That was another thing. Last week I was all confused on what the heck I was trying to do, because I had just woke up, rushed to get the stream set up, hadn't had any time to really look at what was going on, and I was just playing catch up all night long. So last week when we cut the grass, the plan was to take some of those and put them in the bale storage so that we would have some food for the sheep. But I didn't do that. So now I run the risk of the sheep running out of food, and I'm making silage to be able to make TMR for cows that I don't even have. So hopefully I can pull some of that grass back out of there, and that way there'll be plenty of grass for the sheep. We won't have to worry about them going hungry. We need to get a animal trailer, because the chickens are really multiplying, and I need to take all the roosters and get rid of them. You try to incorporate productions in your role plays, but ultimately get bored if doing it, and usually just do my own thing instead. Yeah, I understand. I really enjoy doing the productions. I like integrating them into what I'm doing. But most of the time, whatever productions I have going on, or how you talking about you do your own thing, they're kind of built around that. You know, so if I decide that I want to do sugarcane, you know, I'll do a sugarcane production, you know, to make sugar with. It just gives me something else to do with it other than just selling it. Can make a little more profit off of it, and be able to just kind of lean into doing more things. You know, like say I get tired of growing sugarcane, I can take and just start doing forestry or something. You know, it just kind of it allows me a little more flexibility just because I'm making a little more money. Now, as far as this farm production that's over here, really this is just kind of something to aid you along. Is there a... Yeah, there's a silo on it. Let's go ahead and check since we're here. Oh, look at that. See that? Right on my back porch. Ka-chow. That's what, $5 grand on the back porch. Ah, dang. Can't be leaving money laying around like that. So I wonder if that forge wagon will work. So I don't think I got a regular trailer anywhere, do I? Yeah, I do. Yeah, let's use that one over there. It's a regular trailer. I know you would think I'd remember all the different pieces of equipment that I have. I didn't set this up. I just went ahead and went with what was on the map when I started. Like, all these tractors, you'll start with these tractors. Now, there's some pieces of equipment that I have purchased. We can start feeling it. Oh, there's no grass. There's no grass option. We could get hay. Oof. Those poor sheep. I have let them down. Lawn care and logging. There's a map that actually has some grass cutting contracts. I can't remember which one. It's somewhere in Thuringia, I think is what it's called. Oh, did I run him out of fuel? His fuel tank is empty. Well, I guess something we're going to be buying is a fuel tank. The New Holland just ran out of fuel, and I'm pretty sure I do not have a fuel tank. Do we own a fuel tank? We do not. All right, let's make sure. Let's Afkalot. Hey there. Saw the stream. I'm a sucker for Farming Simulator. One follower. Well, have another follower and a thumbs up. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate that. I'm right there with you. I'm a sucker for Farm Sim. Let's see, that won't hold diesel. That won't hold diesel. We need us a little trailer that'll hold diesel. And that will hold diesel. I don't want to buy that trailer though. I don't like that trailer. If you ain't farming, what you doing? I agree with that sentiment. Now this I can do this, the Jaskin or Joskin. Let's do that. Colors are fine. Goodbye. I'll have it delivered to us too. Because I'm lazy. Let's see if I can get some fuel out of this fuel tank of mine right here, and we'll take it out to the New Holland. I could have swore I just filled that thing up. Well, we'll fill the Valtra up, and then we'll see if we can fill this up. A fuel tank for $26? it's gonna hold a little more than $26. So yeah, see what that farm production right there, that's just like the one where we're delivering the straw. Very much looking forward to the next one. You haven't followed development on it, so I'm not sure what improvements it will have. I'm not sure how much that matters. To me, I'm just looking forward to play. I agree. That's more than enough fuel. Stop it right there. Well, tonight we're working on a contract, and we're talking FS25. Hopefully, we have enough time to get around to get some poplar planted. We'll see. See where it goes. Right now, we're out of fuel, so at least that's what the message popped up, said that the tractor was out of fuel. The one that's over here bailing up for us. I got some videos canned that about FS25. I'll probably roll some of that in just a little bit too. I was showing some of that stuff earlier. Now, Afkalot, you say you haven't seen much on it. I can tell you one simple thing that's going to make FS25 a lot nicer, and that's the traffic. Like, I've got it turned off because traffic's so daggum aggravating. But in 25, like, you know, you stop in the road because you're doing something, cars will go around you. They won't just line up behind you and cause a big old traffic jam. I mean, it's something small, but it's a nice update. It seems like there's a lot of those little things like that. You know, just like GPS. If you're on console, it's not going to be a problem. Because you'll have GPS in there on console now. Probably should have pulled to the other side, shouldn't we? Look at that. It's right at the last little bit of the field. And he tried, didn't he? Out of fuel. He's got plenty of fuel. Why'd he stop? Boy, I tell you what, it's hard to find good help. I'm gonna tell you, you done run out of fuel just to get out of doing the job. Come on, man. How big of a graphics jump? It's not like a monumental jump, but as far as like, you can look at these two tractors. The paint on these two tractors, it's kind of a matte, even on the baler right there. You know, there's a little bit of a shine, but it's not quite the same. Like, you know, if you just got through washing your car and you go out there and you stand next to it, you can see a reflection of yourself or the grass or whatever in the paint job of that car. Even though this has that kind of a gloss look to it, it's still matte. It doesn't reflect any surfaces really. So in these models, the paint, you'll actually get reflections. You know, when you're going down the road and you can see the trees kind of going across the hood in the reflection of the paint, you know, you'll see those kind of details in there. So it's not necessarily that it's a huge graphical leap as much as it is there'll be more detail involved into it. Just like when it rains, instead of the tractor still looking like this, you know, when your car gets wet, you know, the colors kind of darken a little. Your tires, they're going to look wet. They're going to darken up. Yeah, it's kind of hard to watch somebody play farm sim and not want to play it yourself. But you know, those are some of the visual changes that you get. It's like I say, it's not so much that it's going to be this huge graphical leap as much as it is that it's going to have just more detail to it, which works for me. Personally, I think the game is a pretty good looking game. I didn't let that down. I just drove right over the top of it and didn't even let it down. Just let it back down and try it again. And we'll snag this last little bit. And we'll see if we can fuel this tractor that's not out of fuel. It's almost out of death. Okay, it was showing the trigger whenever I was sitting in the Valtra, but it's not showing the trigger while I'm sitting in the New Holland. What's up with that? It says refuel. What is up with that? Try just pushing the back end up to it. I picked the trailer. It's my problem to deal with, I guess. Let's back it up this way and see if it'll overload. Come on. Come on. Come on. It's not wanting to do it. You know, if you didn't have some kind of issue while you were farming, it just wouldn't be farming. Let's try to hit it from this side. Pretty sure I don't have to unfold this. We hit it all right. Back right into it. Is there I wonder if I just sit it down. Let's try that. Sometimes they be silly. There's still sand fuel right there. Let's pull away from it. And let's let the New Holland pull up next to it. The problem with the New Holland is it's mostly out of def. It has enough to do whatever, but I feel like I should have left the manual fueling on. Should have never took that mod out. It just seemed to always work. Trying to do it like this just seems to never work. Okay. That's alright. It's got enough def, it'll make it back to the farm. We can put some def in it at the farm. Doesn't need diesel. And as far as the diesel, I'll get my money back, by George. Let's go ahead and poop those out. Hold this up. Got 1,000 liters sitting there. Jeez. We'll get it out somehow. Something is conflicting with it, keeping it from working properly. It could have something to do with the fact that I got over 200 mods running on a 4X map. Now, until recently, I haven't had any issues with like mod conflicts or anything. I've been running somewhere around, I don't know, around 170 mods pretty consistently for the longest time. Some of the same stuff I used, I don't know, just about the whole time Farm Sim's been out. I'll add some here and there occasionally, and I'll take something else out. But it's generally, I've been running around 170 mods and haven't had any issues. But here recently, it's just these little things just keep kind of popping their head up. Stuff not wanting to quite work like it's supposed to. Evergreen Valley. That's survival map, is it not? Let's pull it around like we did the Valtra. The Valtra just wanted to fuel itself, no problem. Tank empty. Nope, it's not empty. There it goes. Now it shows up. And we got it filled up on diff. Yeah, it seems like I looked at Evergreen Valley not too long ago. It seemed like it was a survival map of some kind, or something similar to a survival map. Spot for it. Park it just for now. May come back and grab it. I really should set up some auto drive courses. I'm surprised nobody, or maybe somebody has set up an auto drive course for this. That would be pretty nice. Get a little more work out of the AI workers. We'll run this fuel tank back. By George. And we'll come get up the rest of this, these bales. Ooh. This needs a bath. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with this diesel tank now. It's not going to work right. I may just sell the diesel and then sell the trailer and try a different one. But it said it was out. What are you going to do? You can only be as informed as people doing the job let you be. That's a pretty slick dam. It's got kind of a 80s vibe to it. I should have just stuck this in the corner. Do this with it. Stick it in there like that. Sparky. Head of the bed. Keep it between the rows, brother. Will do. Now let's get back over here and get these bales up. Get this stuff sold, make us some money. Really want to be able to get over here and plant this poplar. It needs to get in the ground. Stuff takes forever to grow, so personally I think it'll be a good crop to do. I know a lot of people don't like doing poplar because it takes so long to grow, but if you play with seasons, there's no real reason not to. I mean, if you grow wheat, you can harvest wheat once a year. If you grow barley, you can harvest it once a year. Yeah. We're gonna have to get Leighton on that. He's wanting to learn how to do a map. We'll get him to do us a Toombs County map. But yeah, so like I was saying, yeah, if you're playing with seasons, most of the crops you can only do them once a year anyhow. And when it comes to poplar, it takes it a year to grow. So you're only going to do it once a year. But you don't have to replant it. And if you've done any of the wood chips from logging, you know that you can make some really good money doing wood chips. So we'll do some bio bales and use that to make us some money. We'll get us enough money and we'll buy us a little piece of land with some trees and we'll do some logging. Missed a little bit picking up that grass, but it'll be all right. It's just a contract. We get the majority of it. We'll make some money. And away we go. Yeah, as far as that Toombs County map, I haven't even started. It takes a long time to do a map. That's if you want to do a good map. That's weird. Reckon what does that? $50, y'all. $50. Let's look through the archive right here for just a second. Let's see what else we got on the list of videos. Oh yeah, here we go. Let's get this. So, everybody wants to know about the GPS and how the AI is going to work, that sort of thing. This is an AI worker cutting the grass on the field. You can see, you know, when it comes, well, I say you can. You may not be able to tell it, but there's these little red lines that'll come out that'll show where they're going to go next. Now, all these lines, you're not going to see all these lines when you hire a worker. This is like a work in progress kind of footage. You'll just see the single line if you see a line at all for the AI worker. But you can see they just cut the whole field. That wasn't supposed to jump, but it did. Let me get back to it. As you can see, I mean, he's turning himself a whole lot different than they do right now. The way they do it right now, I mean, they're likely to get stuck somewhere. He's doing all this turning on the field. So that's going to be a nice improvement. And this is another thing. It's kind of a tech demo. You can actually see the water ripple creating in front of the tractor. So there's some actual physics going on there. I love that. You know, when you in 22, when you drive through water, the water does nothing. It just sits there. You get no kind of reaction from it whatsoever. But now, like, you can see how shiny these tires are. You can tell that they're wet. You know, right now we don't have that. So that's just one of, like, how I can't remember his name, but he was asking about, is it going to be oh, it's Craig was asking, was there going to be like a big graphical leap? Now, again, don't take the visuals from these videos because you're getting a lot of compression and it doesn't look nearly as nice as the actual game. But as far as like being able to see the ripples in the water or being able to see the tires are wet, that sort of thing, those are just those little details that are adding that little extra. You can also see how he's bouncing around. That's because that terrain deformation is happening inside the field, and you're actually running back over your own tracks. And that's why that tractor bounces around instead of it just riding smooth through here. Like, see, he's turned around and he's going to come back across his tracks. And you'll see how it kind of bounces a little bit. I'll say he's going to turn around. He's taking his time. There it goes. You see how it's kind of got that little dipping back and forth on the tractor? That's that little rocking. It's because it's driving back through the terrain deformation tracks. Rather have a functional leap. Now I don't disagree with you there. What's this one? Water for boats. We look. All right. That's right. We looked at that one earlier. And as a matter of fact, you probably saw it says DJ on there. Most of these DJ has. This is a really good one. This is from Giants. You can see the baby pig. The babies are awesome. That Cinnabogin. Last week we were looking at some of the fact sheets, and I showed that Merlot, and I was saying that that was the track or the telehandler that has the liftable cab. I misspoke on that. It's the Cinnabog the Cinnabogin. I think you'll see it in this trailer here. The animals will actually have growth stages to them too. You won't just have, uh, you know, it's like the baby to a full grown. You'll have the newborns with the youths and then a full grown. So they'll actually go through stages. You got these water drops on the glass. You can actually see the rain in this as opposed to 22 where you can't really see it that well. For those of you that are international fans, that's a International Eagle. So that'll be a new truck that'll be in the game. That J&M, that trailer, that's a new brand. Giants kept teasing players in the third person. You know, they've got them in the trailers. There's a lot of the screenshots and stuff that they drop. And you see a person that's standing there. And they finally came out in the, what do you call it? The partner Discord and said that third person will be in the game. So all that time that you spend in your character creator trying to get your outfit just right, make your character look how you want them to, and then you start playing the game and you never see the character again. Now you'll be able to play it in third person and you'll be able to see your character. And that's another thing is there's going to be twisters. So these things, as far as how long or it hangs out in your field, it's all directly tied to your game speed. So if you have your game speed set up at one time, it's just going to move real slow. If you got it going at 5 times, it'll actually travel a little faster. That's kind of good to know because you see how it tears your crops up right there and it tears down trees. But if you turn your time down, I don't know if you guys can see this, but you can actually see water drops on the hood of the tractor. Yeah, it looks so good. Where was that now? The twister. So if it's tearing up your crop, you can slow your time down and jump out there with your harvester and try to harvest ahead of the tornado. Is flooding next? That's a good question. You see the water drops on the tractor? I think it's awesome. And this little fella here, everybody thought he was a little sheep to start with. It's a goat. We're gonna have water buffaloes and goats be the two new animals in the game. But yeah, as far as the twisters, like let's get back here. Where's it at? So say the twister's coming through the field, you actually can jump out there with your harvester and try to harvest ahead of it. You can turn the game speed down, and if you turn the game speed down, the tornado almost doesn't move at all. So jump out there and harvest it up. As long as it's not raining, you don't lose any yield. But if you're going to lose yield, what difference does it make? Because the tornado is going to tear it up. So you might as well jump out there in your harvester and try to pick it up before it tears it all out. I mean, if it's going to tear your crop up, you can't get a yield off of nothing. This is a sign right before the ferry. According to this, there's going to be hours on it. It says last trip's at 8 o'clock. So it may be like some of the mod maps where some of the businesses are, have business hours. They might open at 8 o'clock and close at 5 o'clock. The ferry, it may open at a certain time in the morning and stop running at 8 o'clock. But it is going to be a player driven. So like you pull your tractor onto the ferry, you'll actually operate the ferry and drive it across the river. But it's on rails. You can't drive the ferry around the river. It just goes straight across the river, back and forth. All the debris that's flying around in the air, it's all just visual. It's not stuff that it actually picks up. So like when it breaks the trees off, like that's a good shot right there. You can see several trees that are broken off from the tornado. But whenever it breaks those off, it doesn't pick that up and fling it around in the air. It's just a visual effect. If you see it when it snaps the tree off, the top of the tree just kind of disappears. It's a very farm sim kind of thing, I guess you could say. But it is a neat element. I think the tornadoes are kind of cool. It adds a new level of or new challenge to the game overall. And those water drops, man, that shot looks so good. This Cinnabog and telehandler is going to be really awesome. I mean, I don't know about you, but there's plenty of times I've been trying to operate the telehandler and thinking to myself, I really wish I could lift the cab up so I could see my forks a little better or something. Yeah, excited for that. Oh, too far. But yeah. I don't know if anybody's got any questions about any of this stuff. As far as the GPS, if you're on console, again, that's something that you're going to be able to use. And it's, from what I've seen, it looks really simple. I mean, it's just a press of a button, and it locks it in. All you have to do is literally just drive up to a field, and it populates the course for you. And then once it's got the course populated, you hit your button, it locks onto one of the tracks. You just hit the gas and drive. You don't have to steer it anymore, so you'll get those nice straight rows. Yeah, I'm sure anybody that's in here has probably watched other people on Farm Sim. You see some of them have these really straight rows, and you think to yourself, man, how the heck do you get the rows so straight? You know, then they come back and tell you they're using a GPS mod of some kind. There's at least 3 different ones that I know of. But now console players will be able to use that, and I think it's great because anytime you're farming, or say you're trying to plant a row and you don't have a GPS mod, you always end up with those little places in the field that you miss somewhere. Your crop starts to grow in, and then you're like, oh man, I thought I had the whole thing. But you got these little missed places here and there. When you got a GPS mod, you just lock it in and go straight and get the whole field. You don't miss anything. Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. Got barges going up and down the rivers. It's not like we haven't seen that in mod maps, but I mean, have you seen a base game map that has a barge? Yeah, where it looks like there's a little more life on the map than just the AI traffic. I think the thing that I'm probably the most excited about, as far as the crops go, is the rice. The Iseki rice harvester. It just looks like it'll be a lot of fun. Being able to flood the fields, all that kind of stuff. Just, I don't know, just it's a different mechanic. Having different ways to do things is one of the things that just makes this game so replayable. There's literally hundreds of maps to choose from, so there's all kinds of variety for you there. And then once you pick a map, it's like, well, what am I going to grow? You know, once you decide what you want to grow, you just off to the races. I mean, you could come back to that same map, excuse me, but you could come back to that same map and decide to do it completely different. You may have done, sugar cane on it one time. The next time you decided to do grain crops. Or you may decide to set your farm up in a completely different place. Thank you. You just never know. Whenever you start a map, sometimes you're like, I want to do a map where all I do is grow wheat, and you get started on the map, and next thing you know, you haven't grown a single bit of wheat because you just decided to do it completely different for whatever reason. There's just I don't know, it's just kind of a vibe or whatever that you'll get off of a map, the way that they feel, and you'll play each one different. Even a second playthrough is different. It's just never the same. Now, if I remember my history on this map, Cavalier Roy, when he first released this map, I think it was on FS17. This map was called like Newbie Island or something like that. Some Newbie Farm. Maybe it was Newbie Farm because like like the name of that farm that's back there. And I was checking out Farmer Klein, and he was telling a little story about when he had first got into Farm Sim, and one of Cavalier Roy's maps was one of the first ones he ever played, and he saw it was called Newbie Farm, and he was like, that sounds like the thing for me because I'm a newbie. So he downloads Newbie Farm and he starts playing it, and he's like, it was anything but newbie, you know, because all the fields are all irregularly shaped fields. You don't have the nice little square rectangle fields. You got hedges and stuff all over the place. And he was like, you know, he was just like, man, this is a tough map. But I'm sure he doesn't feel that way now. There are some maps that are definitely more challenging than others, but these fields on this one, with the sizes of the map, or not the map, well, yeah, the map too, with the size of this map and the size of these fields, it's not an overly difficult map to be able to progress on. I mean, heck, look at the size of this field here. It's an odd shaped field, but it's good size. Plus, you know, like if you buy some farmland on this one, you typically buy 2 or 3 fields all right there together. You can either cut down the hedges and make it all just one big field, or you just keep on rolling with it and grow 3 different crops, like olives and grapes. I mean, who hasn't done olives and grapes? And then you realize these things have such a terrible yield. I put all this time and effort going up and down all these little rows, and I've made nothing. But they're still fun to do occasionally. I still like doing grapes. I like the Oxbow equipment that came out. That stuff makes doing grapes a lot easier. That harvester that's got that like center drive where you just drive right over the top of the vines, it makes it a lot easier. And then you can actually retrofit it to make it a sprayer too. So you can knock out a couple of rows at one time with that thing. It's pretty slick. You know, if you like that sort of thing. I wanted to get my grass field rolled. I didn't realize this contract would take as long as it has. I guess that's kind of my fault. I keep showing off those videos. Yeah, so Afkalot, another thing is the crops. So you say you haven't heard anything. You'll have green beans, peas, spinach, wet and dry rice, or short and long grain, depending on how you want to say it. But you'll have those as new crops. As far as carrots, parsnips, and red beets, all those will be returning. And then as far as maps, Sri Lanka will carry over. So if you have premium and you've played Sri Lanka, that'll be one of the maps that's going to carry over. The American map is going to be mostly what you've seen in these videos that I've shown. It's called Riverbend Springs. And then this weekend, I say this weekend, I think it's towards the end of this week, whenever the Tokyo Game Show happens, then we'll find out about the Asian map, because there's going to be an Asian map. You read there's a couple new crops, but there are some crops, things that mods fix that need to be included in the game. Yeah, like there's not going to be any alfalfa, which I'm sure a lot of people are going to be disappointed about that. And there's a couple of things that are pretty common for a lot of people. I mean, as far as around here, we don't grow any alfalfa. I don't know anybody that grows alfalfa. I had no idea what it was even used for until I started playing Farm Sim. So, nobody who grows alfalfa. What's alfalfa for? You mean like the alfalfa sprouts? I like alfalfa sprouts. As far as growing it and feeding it to cattle and that sort of thing, you know, it's just not a thing for us around here. But as far as adding things, you know, the modders will definitely add stuff. You know, they always do. It's nice to see Giants add different kinds of crops, you know, like the spinach and the rice and stuff like that, just because it introduces a different game mechanic. Oh man, we're just gonna have 2 left. You know what? That might be all right. We might finish the contract with this load. We take those and we'll feed those to our sheep. Then we don't have to buy any. Yeah, there's actually 5 new crops altogether. As far as the difference in the rice, the short and long, I mean, here in the U.S., towards the central U.S., they grow the the long grain rice, but it's they don't grow it in rice paddies. It's grown out in the field, you know. Now, as far as like the Asian map, we're going to get the ability to do well, you'll be able to do it on any map, but being able to do rice paddies where we actually flood the fields for the short grain rice, that's, you know, it's a new mechanic. It's not something that we've been able to do before, so it just adds a little variety to it. It's one of those things, personally, I'm looking forward to the most, is being able to do rice. I keep thinking about the different kinds of equipment, you know, like that little rice harvester, that Aseki brand rice harvester. I think that, I don't know, I just think it's really cool. Plus, I'm really hoping that we get some other brands that do it too, because, you know, like Kubota makes a rice harvester, and some of the other brands, I can't think of all of them off the top of my head, but some of the other companies make them too. So, you know, that's just a little more variety in the way that we do things. So as far as the rice, I mean, that one crop can be done 2 different ways. As far as the spinach goes, as far as like a crop, you know, well, I guess it depends on how you classify poplar and sugarcane, but the spinach will be the first crop that you'll actually be able to harvest more than once. So, like if you plant it in March, it'll grow and be ready, I think it's in 4 months, and then you can harvest it, and you don't have to replant it. It'll grow back, and then you can harvest it again. if you could hire people to do the rice, I think that would be an awesome feature. Now, as far as what all you're going to be able to do on the Asian map, I couldn't say just yet because it hasn't been announced. So if that was something that you could do, that would be awesome. Because in our area, we grow a lot of onions, and we don't have machines that go out and pick the onions. We have people that go out and pick the onions. So if with the Asian map, they introduced the ability to hire workers to go out and pick as opposed to having to have a piece of equipment, that'd be pretty awesome. Now, as far as it actually happening that way, I really doubt it. Even though that would be a nice feature. That would be a lot more realistic for the area that I live in. I've never seen a green bean harvester. You know, it's cool to see it in the game, but we'll have workers out in the field. When I first found out that you could use machines for that stuff, it blew my mind. I was like, how the heck are you going to use a machine to pick this stuff? All I gotta say is there's some really smart people out there to figure out how to make that work. Ooh, run off the road. So as far as like what you were asking about, are there tractors to do on the H map? There are. As a matter of fact, let's see. Yeah, let's jump back over here real quick. This right here. This is the Iseki rice harvester. This is the rice field. This was a paddy. It was flooded. Once the rice grows, it'll absorb all the water, and you can get your harvester, which they will here in just a second. But this is the little Iseki brand rice harvester. You know, we've got one Iseki tractor in the game right now, but this will give us a harvester. I don't know. I just think the thing looks super cool. It's small, but I don't know. I think it'll be fun. And you'll see when he pulls out how he drops off into the field because it's sunk down. Okay, come on, pull on. There he goes. When it comes around to the other side, you'll see how it's processing. You can see that all the straw from the rice as it's going up the side. Now, some of these machines, whenever they're harvesting and that rice is coming through there, it actually takes and bundles it. So it'll leave a straw bale after it harvests the rice. It has a hopper, so I mean it's stripping the rice off the grass shoots, but it's taking the straw itself and bundling it up, and it would lay it down on in little bundles behind it. There's different rice harvesters, so there's I mean a world of things that they could do. Let's see, get it where. But you can see the rice or the straw, how it comes up the side. Like I said, there's some of these harvesters. Now, it doesn't show these doing it. I don't know if these will or not. But there's some of these harvesters as it comes up the side. before it'll come out the back, but when it comes out the back, it'll get bundled. So you'll have like a little straw bale, and you can take all those small ones and make a bigger one. But this is just one brand. Whether we'll have more harvesters besides this one, I don't really know. But I am looking forward to using this one. Let's see. I had one where you could actually see where he pops out. Because that little harvester, it will actually pop out. These greenhouses here, you can actually grow your rice in the greenhouse, and you'll get pallets out, and you'll take those pallets out and actually load your planter. So rice is a bit more involved. I'm pretty sure you can buy these trays from the dealership, or you can grow them in greenhouses. It's up to you. Let's see, you'll have your pallets that'll spawn around on the side, just like you do like your tomatoes or lettuce and that sort of thing with other greenhouses. Now, again, as far as the quality of this, it's going to be kind of poor because of because it's being compressed through YouTube. You had the original footage, then you had the footage that got dropped, then you got the footage that I used. Be cool. Yeah, that would be kind of cool. You could do something like that now. If you download the AGI pack, you can take and make your own seeds. Once you grow, say some wheat or whatever, soybeans, it doesn't really matter. There's a conveyor and some silos that you can use to actually make your own seed. There's mods on the mod hub that let you do it, but the AGI pack was, it's kind of how all that got started. So, you can make your own seeds, and then you got seeds. This is the pump. Unless you flood your field. You turn it on and flood the field. And it takes time. It doesn't just happen immediately. Some time has to pass in the game. And eventually it'll flood the whole field. I think it takes about, I don't know, 20 or 30 minutes in game. And judging from the clock that they have up in the top corner, I think maybe an hour passed of game time. Not real time. And see, this is the Iseki rice planter. It'll load those trays up. It loads off those trays. Just rice just looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Even this planter, it's an 8-row planter. You see the ripples coming off the tires. You can even see right there above his head, it's got GPS. Now, it doesn't show in the bottom right, but it has the GPS mounted up there. So maybe that'll be a feature that, whenever you go to buy the harvester, you can add GPS to it. Well, it says GPS in the bottom right corner. I don't know if that's going to work for every piece of equipment or not. Be kind of nice if it did, and it'd be kind of nice if it didn't. You know, if you got say an old 4020, you wouldn't really expect it to have GPS. You can see the tray on the back. That whole thing is kind of shuffling across like a typewriter. It goes one way and then it shifts and starts going back the other way. And see, they're actually doing this rice paddy here on Riverbend Springs. It would have hoped that when they showed this that they'd have showed it on the Asia map. You know, it already shows that it's 100% fertilized. I'm wondering if you're gonna have to do all your fertilizing before you plant it, because I didn't see. Go back real quick. That's going to show the GPS, but it doesn't show. I need to see the harvest. Oh, it does. Okay. Well, he's out of fertilizer, so it doesn't even matter. That missing corner. It seems like it'll be a real easy thing to, whenever you get to the end of a row, to stop just before you get to the end and be able to come back and just drive down that one side. Now, this will actually show off the GPS. I believe this is the GPS. Cool thing about GPS, if whether you're on PC or console, whenever you pull up to the field, uh, your GPS is automatically going to generate this grid like it just did. You see those white lines? All you have to do is just push the button. I don't know which button it is. It's like Y or something like that on your controller, but it'll lock it into the track, and then all you got to do is just press your gas and go. So it'll do the steering for you. Now, when you get to the end of a row, it's not going to turn. You're going to have to do the steering yourself, but it's going to keep you in a straight line. So you can come down, you can complete your row. Now you're going to have to steer it yourself from this point and then lock in onto the new track. And you'll be able to keep a nice straight row. I think this same field, they showed off the AI cutting the grass in. And whenever you want to hire a worker, you know, the same button that you'll use for your GPS, instead of just tapping it, you just hold it. You hold it and it'll hire an AI worker. It's a pretty simple system that they've got set up. It's just pretty nice. But that'll hire a worker, and that worker follows this same grid. This is the pre-order MacDon. So if you pre-order it, this is the swather that you get. Which I think is pretty cool. I like to use these things to cut grass. As far as swathing, swathing isn't something that we do around here. I think mostly swathing is something that they do up north, like around Canada, that sort of thing. And the purpose of that is so to help with the drying of the wheat. Our growth seasons here are long enough that the wheat can actually dry in the field before you've even touched it, done anything to it. I think they just have such a short growth season that they actually swath it so that it'll dry a little quicker, because they just basically you stop the growing process by doing that. Now in farm sim, you can see it's already ready to harvest, so you're not really swathing it in that green state. But I do know there's a lot of people that actually like doing it this way. Whether there's going to be any added benefit to doing it like that, I don't know. Um, I think it was the Saskatchewan map. I think the one that BC Bueller and the other fella worked on. Yeah, where they added swathing in for the first time on FS22. If you swapped those, you would get a 10% yield bonus. Whether or not Giants is going to implement something like that to make swathing mean something, I don't know. It would be nice if they did, because then if you swapped it, you would actually have some kind of reason for doing it other than just putting it in a row. So otherwise, you might as well just get out there with a, you know, your harvester and just get it all up in one pass instead of giving yourself extra work. I wish they would actually hop out and show you what the swath itself looks like, because you can't really tell from the footage. But from what I've heard, the swath that it leaves behind is not the same as a straw swath. It's like, well, from what I can see, it looks the same, but I don't know. Only what I've heard. Only what I've heard. Oh wait, look, he gets out. You can see there's some actual straw there. Okay. It does look a little different. You can still see the wheat. I don't know if you guys saw that. Let me pull that back. I was just saying how I wanted to see it. You can actually see the wheat in there, whereas straw swath, it's just straw. So I guess it does look a little different. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Yep, that pickup header. So after you've swapped it, you'll need to use this header on your harvester. Is that the, yep, that is. That's the CR11. That's New Holland's newest harvester. That's their biggest and largest harvester. We'll get back over here and get back to it. Never going to finish this contract. We'll get this sold. We're going to the end. We'll get this sold and then get those last bales up, and that probably we'll call it for tonight. Not gonna get enough time to get around to planting the poplar. I may have to do that sometime off stream, just to kind of help get things moved along. because this contract certainly has taken. Oh, we sold every bit of that, didn't we? Well, so we'll have 2 bales we can give to our sheep. That'll be nice. Keep them from starving to death. So let's head back down there. I don't know why I turned right there. I come in the other way. I go out this way. Hey, yeah, no problem, man. Oh, look at that. Read the chat and get hung up. You're welcome to come hang out anytime you want. I do this every Sunday at 8 o'clock Eastern time. So it's just something I enjoy doing. There's some other things I believe that, as a matter of, yeah, you can go back and rewatch the earlier part of the stream, and there's some stuff that I showed off there. Maybe around the 20-minute mark, somewhere around there. I pulled up some other videos and showed off some things. If you're interested in looking and seeing what the collectibles look like, in one of those videos that I pull up, I showed off the collectibles in that video. If you've ever seen the movie It, you know, the little boat, the little paper boat that the little boy was making at the beginning, that it was floating down the street, it went down the drain. Those little paper boats, those are what the collectibles will look like. But you'll see it in one of those videos, you know, if you're interested. I like that they're doing different things with the collectibles. You know, if you play on Sri Lanka, they're golden apples. If you played on Silver Run, they were carved animal, statues. So I really like that they've been kind of changing it up a bit. As far as the little collectible toys that you have on Elm Creek, that seems like everybody wants to use. I'm not a big fan of those. I mean, it's nice to find them, don't get me wrong. Extra money's always great. But I like whenever they try to give that map itself a little bit of personality, you know, kind of make it its own by giving it a custom collectible. And seeing that Riverbend is going to have those little paper hats, you know, like Erlingarot had the cheese, you know, I think it'll be cool to see what the Asian map is going to have. I'm pretty sure it'll be a different one. I really doubt it'll be the paper boats. I mean, it could be, but I'm hoping it'll be something different. Because I mean, if you play Sri Lanka, it's going to be a golden apple. You know, once you collect all the golden apples on that one, I think there's two trees, 1 or 2 trees. All the apples that you find will actually populate on those trees. You know, kind of like on Elk Mountain, you got those antlers that you can find everywhere. You find all the antlers, and it makes that archway out in front of the city hall. Just different things like that kind of, you know, give the map its own personality. So I'm hoping that, you know, they do something besides like the little toys. I'm sure they will. That's kind of been the trend. almost back over here to grab our hay bales. Get these, go feed those little sheeps. They should take the hay. If not, I can use the hay. Make TMR. I wonder if I can use this hitch on the back to grab that windrow. We can get it all back to the farm at one time. Fingers crossed. See if this works. Nope. It's got to have that 3-point. Oh well. Oh. Let's watch where I was going. I was looking at one of my other screens. Let's get back over here. Get these sheep fed. Oh, we might go ahead and cut down some hedges. Take an extra minute to cut some hedges. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. Alright, let's see if these sheeps likes hay. I sure hope so. Hey, little sheepy, sheepy. For some reason, don't think that's gonna work. Oh, it did. Hallelujah. Look at that, 53,000 liters. Oh yeah, these fellas will be fed for a while. We got 60 sheep out here. We still got to get us an animal trailer and get all these little biddies out of here. Look at all these little biddies. Look at all these little chickies. I mean, there's tons of them. Look at all of them. Everywhere. Oh, look at him go. He's fast. Might make a racing chicken out of him. Yeah. You're stupid. Come in here and look at our chickens. Let's see, 72 males. Gotta get rid of all them fellas. They're not gonna lay any eggs. So I gotta get me a trailer to load all them up on. As a matter of fact, since the sheep have been fed, let's look at the animal dealer, or not the animal dealer, but the dealership. There's some animal transport here. Oh, I don't have much for animal transport, do I? Doesn't say how many chickens. I thought I picked something up that would haul chickens. Maybe it was just a... It might have been like a box truck. Maybe. Looking trucks. Maybe I didn't add it. I don't recall exactly. I wanted to, kind of wanted to get something I could transport them around. Pretty simple. Yeah, that's all the options I got, so. I'm sure that'll hold chickens. How many, I don't know. I don't want to make a lot of trips, but I don't have a semi either. Oh well, so much for picking that up. I was going to go ahead and buy it and have it over there, but I guess I have to check the mod hub, see what I can find in there. Yeah, that kind of knocks us out for tonight. We got the contract finished. We had to get our poplar going on this in this same month, so that'll be the next thing that we do, is get the poplar going. We'll have some hedges to get cut. This field's going to have to be rolled because it's not at its max yield, and not just yet. We're going to cut some of these hedges out. I'm not going to do all this, so just there's some there we go. You can see it now. We'll get all these cut out between this field and that field. These hedges will stay because that's the cow pasture. So we can get up the hill where you can see a little better. So those hedges will stay there. That's the cow pasture. But these separating the fields, we'll get those cut out. Combine this into just one large grass field. And we'll get our poplar planted. That'll all be what we're going to do for our next stream. And kind of see where it goes from there. Once we get all that stuff planted, get these fields expanded out, we get going into the next month, and then we'll be able to roll this field, but it'll just be one large field. So we might actually upgrade our roller to something a little larger instead of just something so tiny. Just have to wait and see. But until next time, we'll be here every Sunday at 8 o'clock. So if you want to come by and hang out, we'll be here. If you haven't already, just please drop us a like and subscribe. And we'll see you next week.